the scientific method. Here we go. Among sort of some of my fellow writers in the group that I belong to, because of this poem, they call me the polar bear poet. So it's a bit of an allegory. Last year, a polar bear tried to sell me a big issue in the town. I thought nothing of it. Then I began to notice small groups of polar bears standing on street corners. A friend told me that a sizable encampment had suddenly appeared on scrub to the back of Crosby Road. I was accosted by a large bear in the bus station. He asked me if I could spare 40 pence for a cup of tea. I felt intimidated and gave him £1 to make him go away. Before long, polar bears were to be seen employed in cold stores. Several had set up as taxi drivers. While travelling home in a taxi, a driver told me that Inuits may have many words for snow, but polar bear has more than 1,000 words to describe all the colours, flavours and moods that make the structure of snow. Asda's began to stock polar bear produce. The gangways and queues always seems filled by bears' families out shopping. CK's trailer in King Edward Street introduced seal burgers onto the menu, with or without anchovy sauce. A new street culture soon developed, urban polar known as Jive Bear. Bear music, a strange mix of techno and throat singing. This soon shifted from margin to mainstream. Bear stories and poetry being mainly an oral event, but the more educated used an amalgamated mix of Ogham, runes and scrimshaw, scratched and carved into whalebone. New recreational drugs appeared on the streets, snow and ice being quite mild and trippy in their effect. But slush needs to be given respect, or it will just melt your mind. Polar bears drink a brew known as cat bear, a fermented and demented beverage made by adding yeast to barrels filled with drowned toms. This shouldn't be imbibed by humans. The tavern became a regular waterhole for a gang of rude bears. Russ, a barman, told me about melting ice sheets as a tear travelled from the corner of his eye to tusk tip. Elvis sang My Teddy Bear on the jukebox. Outside, old bears smoked seal pipes filled with a mixture of dried fish skin. Last week, I heard 2 old dears talking about how polar bears were getting jobs and jumping the housing queue while they looked at paperbacks in the 2nd Avenue community shop. A short while later, enjoying beans on toast and a mug of tea in Green's Cafe, I saw my first penguin pass the window.